Hey there guys, this is Dave from DC On Screen. I just wanted to let you know that DC On Screen is now officially a part of the 11th Annual People's Podcast Awards. If you would like to vote for DC On Screen, go to podcastawards.com, scroll to the bottom, and write us in on the TV and film ballot on the right-hand side. Then, on the left-hand side, put your name, your email address, then submit. Importantly, you can nominate up to 20 shows for different categories, but you could submit the nomination form only one time. Make sure you nominate all your favorite shows in their respective category. Once you hit submit, that's it. You're done for 2016. Can't go back, can't do it again. Settle in now for a brand new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome in to DC On Screen, episode 155. We are about to get super spoilery on Lucifer 1x11, St. Lucifer. I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hey.
And as far as a quick recap goes, for St. Lucifer, a wealthy philanthropist, Tim Dunlear, is murdered, and it's up to Lucifer and Detective Chloe Decker to figure out who done it. Meanwhile, Lucifer realizes that doing good feels good. Fancy that.
Right.
Leading him to experiment with do-gooding, Maze boinks Amenadiel, or Amenadiel, and Dan, who somehow isn't dead from last week, has words with Malcolm before escaping Malcolm's hungry clutches.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he so hungry all the time? Like, I get it. He's like,
talked
he
about
starved me. He did, but it was just...
I actually liked his scene, though. He's one of the things in the last few episodes where I really liked how he's played his little character. Mm-hmm. So he's been something I've been enjoying.
I don't like him. I don't know why. I just don't like him. Like, he might be doing a good job. I don't know.
I just don't like a lot of the stories that are happening in Lucifer right now, and he's not a major exception. Like, it started off with that whole Palmetto thing, which we didn't care about because the show's Lucifer. And then it became a show that, like, the Palmetto thing did finally barrel into something that had to do with, Lucifer. Mm-hmm. And I was mildly happy about that.
Mildly.
Until they really started doing it. And, as you point out, why does it have to be him?
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people get in there. And then he finally gets there, and Lucifer talks him down pretty well, mind you. Gives him the real backstory of what's really going to happen to him. Mm-hmm. Great, except, even the exchange with that coin was just, what do you call it, a Pentecostal coin or something?
Yeah, the Pentecostal coin, yeah.
Oh, man, even the exchange with that coin was just, I still like the guy, but what are you doing now? All right, so you completely believed the angel. Now you completely believe the devil. All right, well, you saw two sides of this argument. I get that, but you're just going to back out of the room, take the coin and back out of the room? All right.
And even, hold the coin up at Lucifer, we're friends. Like, oh, you weirdo.
Right. And he had this, Schmeagol kind of look on his face in the elevator when he was going down.
He always does. He always has this look. Like, this guy almost always plays, creepy people or, backwoods, ignorant people who hate witches or gays. He's always that character. And I don't know, he always just looks like he isn't all there mentally, and whatever facial hair he does have looks like it's just food on his mouth.
That's pretty much where he gets cast every time. I've never seen the guy, and I've never seen a picture of him in just his normal civilian life, but for every role I've ever seen him in, it looks like he hasn't slept in about 2 or 3 days. Something about the eyes. Hopefully he gets more sleep than he appears in these shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still digging him. He's doing a good job with it. I just kind of liked his take on, I don't know, he's doing something fun. It's kind of the same reason I've liked Maze a lot of the show, because she was doing something fun when the rest of the show very much wasn't. Speaking of which, what the hell happened to her and the therapist? I wanted to see them out drinking one night already.
They opted to have her boinking Amenadiel instead.
I mean, and that's okay too, I guess. I liked their conversation. I liked the thing about the goat. It was good.
I want to know what the story is with the goat.
I do. I kept going. I started to look it up, and I was like, no, I'm not typing Lucifer goat. And no. I'm not typing that in.
Absolutely not.
There's no way this ends well.
That was just the show trying to get us to type in Lucifer goat.
Maybe. And they do. They give you just enough that you're intrigued, and you're willing to bet something untoward happened to that goat, but I don't know, man. I wasn't going to actually put it in my internet browsing history. Just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. I did really enjoy Lucifer's reaction to Malcolm. He says, "I'm sorry, strange, disheveled gunman. Have we met?"
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yeah. I liked him getting shot anyway, too.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
Right. And it finally got you to somewhere that there is an interesting and actually good thing that happens in the episode when he finds out that she's his Achilles heel, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He does the little experiment with the knife.
That winds up being one of my issues, because I'm like, how did you not know that? Just like, how do you not know that doing good feels good? You're Lucifer.
I mean, he should have gotten around to a lot of these. Like, doing good feels good. He should have at least known it in theory. But he's never tried to go out and feel good about things. So, I don't know. Maybe he just forgot. I don't freaking know. Seems like he was an angel before. He should kind of remember that at least somewhat. But
Yeah. Well, like I said, these writers seem to have the very, shallowest concept of heaven and hell and Lucifer and God in this show.
Yeah.
So they don't seem to really catch a whole lot as far as philosophy goes.
And yeah, there's just a lot of that sandbox that could be played in. They're just hanging out in one little tiny corner.
Wondering why it smells like piss.
Right. And it'll do stuff to you. Like, all right, I said I think I said on the last episode that if Dan isn't dead, this isn't a real show. And sure enough, one of the first scenes, well, fuck, Dan's alive. There's no reason he should keep him alive. There's nothing doing there. What are you going to eventually, just kill him. You can kill him now.
Yeah.
The only thing I could possibly point out, and they haven't done this, so I'm giving them more credit than they deserved. I don't think they've said it, is he has to kill Lucifer first, and then have Dan kill himself, and it has to be in that order and in that time, or an ME could sit there and easily tell you, no, this guy was dead like 12 hours before this guy was. Couldn't have been him.
Yeah, you're right. The show hasn't done this.
I think it's a perfectly good explanation. They haven't given it to me, though.
Right. So, yeah, were I Lucifer, the first thing I would think, I bet I'm only immortal. I bet I'm only mortal when I'm around Chloe, because she's immune to my charms or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he just.
I mean, I figured it out.
Well, yeah, but we're only showing
the Prince of Darkness would figure it out.
we're seeing just the moments when they're together to begin with, so we have a limited perspective on it. But man, you got to wonder if off screen sometime when she was back at home and he was over at the club, did he maybe drop a knife on his foot or something and realize, oh, that didn't work. I'm fine. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's got any outside information here. Sure as hell doesn't look like it.
That would be even more reason to believe it was because of her.
No, it would be. That's what I'm saying. Maybe he just didn't have that moment of insight before. But the thing is, telling us, the show going ahead and telling us for sure, hey, that's what happens. He's mortal when he's around her. Great. Should have done that episode 3.
They're going to turn into will he choose mortality over her? Or immortality over her thing.
Probably. I mean, what's the next?
Because there's no way that they're not going to do a love story with those two. There's just not.
They've played it up too much. I mean, we've got 2 episodes left. We got hashtag Team Lucifer. And then Take Me Back to Hell, whatever that means in this case. I don't know. I mean, did they try it next episode and it just really doesn't work? They have a big blow up and he goes back? I don't know. We'll see.
And, I did enjoy a couple of bits. You snore like an Albanian field winch. That was fun.
Yeah.
But, as far as the actual show goes, as far as the procedural aspect of this show goes, of this episode, I knew it was the wife.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And her little assistant, I went, oh, well, she's either banging him or he was banging the husband. I was right. He was banging the husband.
Yeah, it's not
that was their version of a twist, I guess.
Yeah.
The procedural aspect of the show has got to go.
I don't think it will be. I don't think
you
it'll
think
be.
it will be?
No, I don't think it will. I really don't. It obviously it worked. There's 12 million people watching the show. We're just the assholes who don't like it.
Not 12 million. It was 10.5 million.
Oh man. And if they did more, even I could handle the procedural part. Don't get me wrong, it needs an upgrade. It needs an overhaul. They're not focusing on it enough to tell you a real in-depth story.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of damning themselves to simple twists, and
right.
I wouldn't have the alternative where we're going all deep track detective mystery every week. I don't care about that. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I understand the sacrifice I'm making here, where like, yeah, it has to be the butler because I don't have time for any other damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if they would do more stuff like this, there's a moment where like, all right, Dan comes rushing in to save Lucifer. Just, okay, whatever. Lucifer's fine. He's got a couple of nice bullet holes to work out with his tailor, but he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's hitting his elevator to go wherever this, the event's being held at Lux, right? Isn't it? It's being held at his bar, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to confront the lady who shot him and expose everybody. But there's this the look on his face when he tells Dan, "You look like you could have a drink. Go have a drink." You know what? 2. And then he gets real serious and says, "Who says the devil can't be generous?"
Right.
But like that determined look on his face, that's what the show should be about.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get enough of that.
Yeah. That's something that they're trying really, really hard to make fly, and I just don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So much of the show. Well, I don't. To be fair, I don't feel like they're trying very hard
With the aspect of
right. Chloe says, "I miss the old Lucifer because he's trying to do good." Ugh. She said, "I miss the old Lucifer. At least he had my back."
Yeah.
Did he? Because the entire show you've been bitching about how he doesn't have your back and he kind of does whatever he wants to do. Like, you guys are pushing this a little hard.
We're way past fool me once, fool me twice, lady.
Right. And then she's like, at the end, she's like, "I can let my guard down with you. I can't do that with anyone else." I'm like, you don't let your guard down with him. He's tried to have sex with you a number of times. I mean, yes, you got drunk and went to his apartment, but Dan broke up with you via text, which I'm pretty sure that was Malcolm. But anyway.
But now, Dan's alive and well and about, and I suppose Malcolm's on the run wherever the hell he is, and surely we're going to go explain to each other that I didn't send that text, I was kind of kidnapped and all that, and they're going to be right back where they were, and Lucifer's on the outs again.
Or will he?
I don't know.
He's not going to tell her.
Dan? Why not?
She's going to come back, and she'll be like, "Oh, you broke up with me in a text," and he'll be like, "Oh," and then he'll realize, "Oh, I'll have to explain that Malcolm kidnapped me," which will mean that I have to explain that I was a bad guy, and Malcolm, this whole thing, like, if I explain any of this, that means I at least
gotta
I have
unravel
her
the
knowing
whole
I'm a bad guy. So I'm just going to have to, like, try to piece this back together and not tell her, and the audience will have to live through it. That's what they're going to do.
They might. I mean, it feels like Dan has to track Malcolm down now if he's ever going to, like, explain what just happened to him, yeah. But the thing is, he could tell her with reasonable certainty that Malcolm's not going to show up and have to, like, he could just tell her that Malcolm kidnapped and make up a little story, whole thing. Like, oh, Malcolm was going to kill Lucifer, he needed a patsy, he chose me, whatever.
Right.
You don't have to go into the whole thing, but you're running the risk that Malcolm shows back up at some point, and cock block of the century right there, and you would be I don't know, it'd be a decent bet that he's never going to show up again. Mm-hmm.
Malcolm?
Yeah. I mean, if you're in real life, it would be a decent bet that dude's in the wind. He's out. He's done. So in this show, Malcolm's going to come back and ruin everything.
He's going to be like down the street eating hamburgers, like 15 hamburgers.
Right. I did like the bit where Lucifer tries his little devil face on him, and he's just unflinching about it. It usually works. That was okay.
Most
people haven't been to hell and back.
Good.
Again, it's those things. Those things work. But then there's stuff they got to cut the head. You got to cut the shit out. Not even Supergirl did this, and I'm still waiting for that scene so I can be right about something. But not even Supergirl has broken down into song, and especially twice. There's like 3 or 4 episodes we've broken out into song. Yeah. He's got a fine voice, and the big failing before that, I might have been okay with the song if I wasn't so annoyed with what happened before. Like, Chloe tells him, "Hey, why don't you go use your, like, hypnotized face thing on people?"
Right.
So she believes he can, like, hypnotize people almost. And I realize she's being flippant, so you can sit here and tell me that she didn't really mean go hypnotize. Like, she doesn't really think he has any kind of special power. But she's kind of willing to believe he's a little special, but not enough special. Just bothersome.
To be the devil.
Yeah, it's just bothersome. Got a whole season with this lady. Worst detective in the history of L.A.
Right.
I mean, the rest of them have seen the footage too. It's not on her. It's a bad department apparently. She can't be the only one who's seen the surveillance footage, and like she had to write up reports probably of what happened. You can just see it in the report. Oh, and then Lucifer lifted a 300-pound man with one arm.
And then Lucifer hypnotized a person into confessing.
And then Lucifer showed someone his scary face, and he jumped off the building. Like, if I'm the guy reading these reports, I'm having a very serious discussion with her about, A, her mental state, and then I'm looking into, like, because at this point I need to know if I need to fire this lady because she's probably lost her mind, because surely none of this could be real in the reports. And then you go back for, well, if you can rule out that she hasn't lost her mind, well, now I've ruled in the fact that this guy's pretty special. Something's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be a great service to me if at some point in the series, Lucifer makes it known to Chloe that he's the reason, him sleeping with her boss is the reason she hasn't been fired for just being a terrible detective.
for all the weird shit that's in her reports.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a way that would actually be clever. I would dig it.
All right. You got anything else on Lucifer 111?
Yeah. No. Two more weeks. Let's see where they do.
Yeah. So the promo for 112 Team Lucifer, it just looks like everyone turning against him, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's like Chloe with a gun on him, Amenadiel coming after him. Everyone's just again him.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry we don't like this show more, guys. For any of you, 10.5 million people who are checking us out and just being like, why don't they like Lucifer? These guys are dicks. Yeah, we're dicks, but the show's bad. I'm sorry. It just is.
I'm an open-minded asshole, though. Like, I'm still waiting for someone to explain to me why.
I'm still hoping for it would be good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some real,
if someone sent me a 5-paragraph essay convincingly enough, I'm not set on this mindset. Hell, I'd like to enjoy the show, but I'm just not getting there right now.
We are DC On Screen. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher, Twitter, Facebook. We're lots of places. We are a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network, giantsizeteamup.com. If you feel so inclined, go check out our buddies Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, mcucast.com. Next episode, we will be talking about Legends of Tomorrow, 111, The Magnificent 8. I believe there might be a bit of contention between me and Jason on this episode, so come on and check that out. Until then, guys, keep some DC on your screen.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.